Wishful, sinful, wicked you, and I shoot the blues. Choo 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 choo, la 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 la. Sound source. I used to do a lot of music, and I used to do a lot of electronics work. And when I'm in a normal mood state, or maybe a manic state, the one thing that I did a lot of was think about electronic circuits. This is one of the things that occupied my mind rather successfully, I might say, because I did electronics work. So one of the things that I'm concerning myself with now is how the depressed mind is different from the euthymic mind. And what's the euthymic mind? Well, that's the normal ups and downs of the brain. So you're occupied with all kinds of thoughts when you're in a normal mood state, and you have all kinds of things taking place in your thoughts. For example, foreground thought, following conversations, and perhaps thinking about other things at the same time. That's maybe not normal for most people, but that was my normal. Okay? Doing electronics work, thinking about electronic circuits, thinking about ways to store high-speed energy was one of my main interests. And if you understand what high-speed energy is, that's merely a way of storing electricity and being able to discharge it completely in a moment. And that doesn't happen in electronics. It tends to kind of happen a bit and a bit and a bit and a bit, and that causes there to be noise in circuits. Well, that's one of the things that I was thinking about extensively in the months that preceded this depression. So I would have to say that, you know, my life was pretty much fine, and nothing was seriously problematic with it before I went manic and had some incidental issues because of it. So I had the freedom and luxury to think about things with euthymic mind going, and then toward the end slipping into mania and enjoying the tremendous synergistic thought that comes with mania, because, you know, it does. So here I sit, trying to convey a sense of the difference between the range of thoughts in a normal mood state and, say, the range of thoughts in a depression. And I've talked about something that I call the void. And the void is a place where nothing much of anything takes place in the way of thoughts, and it's almost a mood, it's almost a state of mind to be cultivated, because the alternative is you know, what I addressed in the video that precedes this one, which is a state of agitation that comes on when you become overwhelmed with thinking about the problems in your life. Now, in a normal mood state, you think about the problems in your life, but you stop thinking about them until such time as you have to. So, you know, you go along and you think about other things and you enjoy life, and then, you know, when the problem is solvable, you solve it. So, if you have a lot of debt, but you're earning money, you don't dwell on the problem of your debt, you just pay it off systematically. but you don't worry about the process of paying it off. If you have a liability, you acknowledge the liability and you move on. Well, in a state of depression, that liability will become an overwhelming thing. So it's something that you can deal with in a rather reasonable, ordinary way in a normal mood state will crush you in depression. So you have to think about that. If you don't know about this illness, it's not just a matter of losing interest in things, it's becoming unable to cope with reality because problems that are just of an ordinary nature become insurmountable. And you lose it, in a manner of speaking. You can become unhinged by it. And that's when depression can be a very destructive thing. Just as destructive as mania, but destructive in a different way. Well, that's enough for now. I never say goodbye in these videos.